Gaffer, first of all, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Most importantly, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I have ups and down days, but at the moment, as we speak, I've had a good 2 or 3 days, and my mobility's coming back. I've always had me. Some wouldn't say I had my brain, but I know I've always had me brain, and upper part of my body has always been very active. But now I'm getting a feeling back. I've lost a couple of stone in the 6 weeks. I wouldn't wish this 6 weeks that I've had on anybody, but I wouldn't recommend this 6 weeks to lose 2 stone. There's much better ways of doing it. So thank you. I'm feeling a lot better, and of course what's kept me sane is that I've been very much involved with the football and seen all the training sessions, as you know, all the games. I talk to Russell 2-3 times a week along with the other staff. We have conference calls, and I have FaceTime time with the boys, meetings, reviews and all that. So it's really kept me sane and involved in the football, and chairman, the board, everybody has kept in touch. It's been very nice that everybody's cared, along with the NHS, of course, who cared very much. And I know there's a lot of talk about them at the moment, but I've had 6 weeks of absolute care and attention and professionalism. So if any of these political parties want to use this for their own gain, then I'm telling you, I couldn't have wished for any more.
So I'm sure Saturday's game must have helped.
Saturday's game was fantastic for me because I was gutted that I couldn't be there. I was really, I put it in my diary that was where I wanted to be, especially at home, but I couldn't be. The specialist said no, still a couple of weeks. Take it easy so that you're ready for pre-season and the busy summer that I'm going to have with Pete and the recruitment. So it wasn't just the game. It was I felt when you're removed from it a little bit and you're seeing it in its whole, and I'm seeing the celebrations, and I'm having a chat with the lads just before kick-off, and I can see they're in the zone, and having a chat with Russ, and I felt very proud of the club. It's when you step away and you look at it, and the crowd of 5,600, 5,000 home supporters, that was fantastic. But it's the empathy that the boys have created with the supporters is magnificent, and there must have been still 4,000 and 4,500 people in the stadium when they did their lap of honour. So that means a lot to the boys, and I'm sure it means a lot to the fans that we always go round. Now, it wasn't exactly an unbelievably successful season, but it was a real successful half a season, because actually the boys picked up quite a few points in the second half of the season. And when we started doing when we got all our January signings done, then we decided to start a new league table, and we were definitely in the top half, I think 10th or 11th. Only 5 points away from the team that's 7th. Not this team, but the team during that January to now period. So it's not a lot we got to do, but obviously we've got to move some out, we've got to move some in, to make sure that we keep improving. But on the day, I'd like to thank Doreen for getting my little cardboard cutout involved in the celebrations. It made me feel at least I was there. And obviously Paul Godfrey took his turn in taking me around, and the interaction with the lads I saw in the dressing room, and they were taking the mickey on occasions, but I still, hopefully had that respect that out of the corner of their eye they were still thinking about me, sort of thing, which was good. And but it was a great day. It was great to see my staff enjoying themselves, because they've been a massive part in these last 6 or 7 weeks. Russell, Gavin, Ian, Tim, Bookie, James, James Murphy, and all Pete, my brother, all of them just worked solidly and tirelessly to make sure that we performed in the way that we discussed before every game. But they were magnificent. And when the chairman asked me at the start, did we need to bring anyone in, or can we leave it to the staff, I was 100% certain that those group of fellas, Russ leading it at that end, me leading it at this end, it would keep us out of trouble, and it did.
You've used the expression "a strong club" in the past.
Yeah.
Saturday is a great example of that. Away from Saturday, in the last few weeks, you've also had a few additions to the board with Murray Toms, Andy Wilcox, and Paul Bents.
Yeah.
I know that's another example of a strong club, isn't it?
It's a great example of a strong club, because the one thing the chairman does, he wants the club to keep improving, and it does keep improving. And as a manager of a football club, wherever I've been, I've always wanted to be a part of a solid club. We're not having any of the shenanigans that some of the other clubs are having, including like teams, if you like, Hartlepool, where the manager went, the chairman went, etc., etc. And there's other situations like, But I've met all the 3 new directors, and the big thing about it for me, and the pleasing thing about it, is that they're all genuine people who support the football club and want to do their best. And already they've shown their expertise in helping the club improve. So credit to the chairman for the initiative, if you like, of bringing in new people. But they are people that can make a difference, and I look forward to working with the extended board, because the board that are there now are very good, and I'm happy to work for. Very happy to work for. And this new extended board have just improved it even further.
Yeah, you mentioned improvement. People will start looking towards next season, maybe before Saturday's game at Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Russ said this morning you had a meeting with the whole staff yesterday, talking about players and stuff like that. How did that meeting go?
It went very well. My wife probably didn't enjoy it as much as us, because she was making the bacon sandwiches and the cups of tea all through, and they're a demanding lot, my staff. They love a bacon sandwich, and anyway, we looked after them. We used my dining room as a boardroom, if you like, and we went through all the players and what we felt and what we needed to improve on, how we can improve, whether it be our training or obviously personnel was a big thing. We had to make sure that our recruitment discussions were there as well, and that's what we did. And unfortunately, you have to make decisions on certain players as to whether they're going to be offered a new contract or not.
And all those decisions we made, or the announcements we made next week, is that right?
Yeah, I've still got to have a meeting with the chairman. The chairman is also coming here. More bacon sandwiches probably. I don't think he eats meat, does he? It'll have to be a lettuce sandwich or something. Don't know what he eats, but he's coming round, I think, with Clive, our accountant, and their director as well, and and we're going to discuss the budget, because that does dictate in some ways which players will stay and which players might have to leave. You obviously have to leave a little bit of room for improvement as far as the team's concerned, because all in all we were still in the bottom half of the table throughout the season, with the whole season, not just January. But we know we've improved it from January, but we've got to improve it again to make sure that those 5 points that we was away from 7th spot from January onwards, that we make that up and give ourselves a chance of being up there early.
So we won't talk about individuals, but how much of a difficult task is it to let people go, and how much do you enjoy offering people new contracts?
Well, listen, I wish I was a horrible person, and then I could eat quite comfortably, you talk to people and say, look, sorry, see you later, sort of thing. But with this group that we've got, is such a nice group of people with families. They've moved into the area, some of them, and that becomes very, very difficult if you have to tell any of them that they won't be being offered a contract. But again, it depends on the budget. It depends on sometimes the number of games they were available for whatever reason, and it is difficult. But you're the manager of a football club, and we stayed loyal last year, which is well documented. But we feel now we need to keep moving and keep evolving, if you like. And unfortunately, that means that some people will miss out on a contract here. The only thing I would say, there's not one person that if we don't offer a contract to, will not be able to get another contract somewhere else, because they've already enhanced their careers, if you like, by being with us, having the success of last year. So that's the always the sad part of a manager's job at the end of a season. And even managers, you know, especially if managers go up and they say, look, thanks for getting me up, but see you later, which is obviously another thing that has actually been done in the past. But there's also good news, because there's also players that will be very happy to stay at the football club and sign new contracts, and you move on with them and add to them. So once they get to know that there is an offer for them, then that's the happy side of it. When you're ringing people up and you're talking to them, which I will do over the next few days, and tell them that, yeah, they've earned another contract.